All right, today's class we are looking at regular polygonal prisms, and we'll also look at cylinders as well today, calculating surface area. So here we have a regular polygonal prism. Both bases, so top and bottom here, are regular polygons. In this case, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's six-sided, so therefore it's a hexagon. And all the lateral sides are congruent rectangles. All right, so therefore in this case we would have 6 congruent rectangles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so we will be using the formula that we used previously when we were looking at area of polygons. Recall this A here represents the apothem. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at this example here. So here we are looking for the total surface area. Then we are also going to be looking at the lateral surface area. So since we have the top and bottom are polygons, in this case it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a 5-sided polygon, therefore a pentagon. And the formula here for total surface area, so the top and bottom, 0.5 A and S, and then plus N S H. So A represents the apothem, N, if you remember, represents number of sides, so this is a pentagon, so this would be 5, and then S represents the side length, which in this case is 10 centimeters. And then we have plus the NSH, that represents the rectangles, so N, number, so again it's 5, this is a pentagon, S is side length, which is 10, and then H is the height, which is the 12. All right, so let's go ahead and substitute everything into the formula. So 2 times 0.5, the apothem is 8. Number of sides, this is a pentagon, it's 5-sided. Side length is 10. All right, and then we're going to add that to NSH. So again, number of sides, that is 5. Side length is 10, and the height is 12. All right, so putting this into the calculator, 2 times 0.5 times 8 times 5 times 10, that gives me 400. And then 5 times 10 times 12 is 600. Okay, which gives me 1,000 centimeters. It is in centimeters, so area is always centimeters squared. So that is the total surface area of this prism. It does ask us to calculate the lateral surface area. So when we are doing lateral surface area, I'll just do it right here. We are not including the top and bottom. We're just doing the rectangles here. So it will just be NSH. Okay, so lateral surface area would just be, in this case, the 5 rectangles, which is represented here, NSH, which we just calculated up top there, 5 times 10 times 12. So therefore 600 centimeters squared for the lateral surface area. Okay, so for this example here, we have, again, a regular polygonal prism. Let's count its sides. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is a 6-sided, so therefore a hexagon. So anywhere we see the N number of sides, it is 6-sided. So for the two bases, we have the polygon, the hexagon. So the formula there, 2 times 0.5, the apothem is given to us, it's 5.5. number of sides is 6, and the side length it is 5. All right, and then we have plus NSH. So again, number of sides is 6. Side length is 5, and then the height is 12. Okay, so we'll multiply this. Okay, that gives me 165, and then we'll multiply this. That was 360. Add that up, and we get 525 meters squared. All right, that is the total surface area of this prism. Okay, so next we are looking at cylinders. So cylinders consist of two circles, top and bottom in this case, which are the bases. And this curved area here, that is a rectangle. So if we open that up, this is what it looks like. This is the net of a cylinder. So we have the two circular bases, and then we have the rectangle. The length of the rectangle is the circumference of the circle, right? Because it goes all around like so. So this here is the length of the rectangle, which is the circumference of the circle. So circumference of a circle is represented either by C equals pi d, so C can be equal to pi d, or you can use the formula C is equal to 2 pi r. All right, so that is just why it's shown this way. If you're given radius, you can use 2 pi r. If you have the diameter of the circle, you can use pi d. Okay, those are the two formulas for circumference. And then the width is the height. All right, because we know area of a rectangle is length times width, but in this case, because it's part of the cylinder, the length is the circumference of the circle, and the width is the height of the cylinder. Okay, so let's take a look at this example. We have to find the total surface area of this cylinder as well as the lateral surface area. All right, so total surface area. So again, we have two circles, so therefore we have to use our formula for area of a circle, which is pi r squared, but there's two of them, so it's 2 times pi r squared, and then our rectangular part there is 2 pi r h. All right, because we're using 2 pi r for the circumference, and then it's being multiplied by the height. So let's go ahead and substitute everything in that we know. I'm going to use 3.14 for pi, and then r squared, that does mean r times r. So I'm just going to show that here that we're doing 6 times 6. And then we have 2, again pi, I'm going to show as 3.14. R again is 6, and then the height is 30 centimeters. All right, so we'll multiply this out first. That gives me 226.08, and then here we multiply that out, and that gives me 1,130.4. Okay, we can add those two up, and I get 1,356.48, and our units will be centimeters squared. The lateral surface area is just the 2 pi rh. We're not including the circular bases, top and bottom. So it is just the same thing that we've already calculated up top. 2 times 3.14 times the 6 times 30. 1,130.4 centimeters squared. All right, for that lateral surface area. All right, so for this question, the soup can has a height of 16 centimeters. The radius is 5 centimeters. And we're to find the area of the label of the soup can, which is just 2 pi r times the height, which is its lateral surface area. So 2 pi r times the h, so 2 times 3.14 times the radius, which is 5, times the height, which is 16, and just multiply that out, and we get 502.4, and it's in centimeters squared. So for this one, we have a radius of 7 meters. Our height of the cylinder is 15 meters. So let's substitute everything in. So 3.14 radius squared, so 7 times 7. And then we have 2 times 3.14 times 7 times the height, which is 15. All right, multiplying this out, I get 307.72. Then multiply this out. It gives me 659.4. Okay, and lastly, we can add. That gives me 967.12, and it's in meters squared. All right, so that's where we will stop for today. I'm going to pause here.